Afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us on KREM 2 News First at 4. I'm Tom Sherry.
It's good to have you here today. I'm Whitney Ward. We begin now with new incentives to get vaccinated. Those are now coming to Washington. Governor Jay Inslee just announced a slew of prizes that will be awarded lottery style to all state residents who get a shot.
So let's get right to our political reporter, Casey Decker, with more about what you can win and how you can enter. Casey.
Well, Tom, Whitney, the short-term goal that Governor Inslee has set is getting at least 70% of eligible people vaccinated. If that happens, he says he'll fully reopen the state. Right now, 63% of folks 16 or older have at least one shot. So to get us over that finish line, Washington will now follow in the steps of several other states and offer a series of lotteries. So here's a list of all the types of prizes. First of all, a traditional cash lottery. This will consist of a $250,000 prize once a week in June, and then another $1 million prize in mid-July. Second, the state will offer assistance with higher ed expenses. Some money for tuition, books, and the like will go out directly to the state's public colleges. In addition, there will be 30 prizes worth 1 year of tuition. Those will go straight to the families of winning Washington teenagers who are vaccinated. Now, third, some big Washington companies are offering a handful of prizes. 300 Xboxes, plus some Nintendo Switches, Google Nests, and Amazon Echo Dots will be on the table. More than $1 million in gift cards to local businesses will also be prizes. And there will be a pair of Alaska airline tickets to anywhere they fly given away. Fourth, a number of recreation-themed prizes. The state will be offering 400 Discover passes to parks, plus dozens of camping passes and gift certificates for hunting and fishing licenses. And finally, for the sports fans, a handful of tickets to every major West Side team: Mariners, Sounders, Storm, Reign, and yes, the Seahawks, all offering prizes. Inslee says he hopes this will all be enough to get those fence sitters vaccinated and improve the state's rate. There are currently still 2.3 million eligible but unvaccinated people in Washington.
We're making this investment today because we know every life in the state of Washington has value. So I'm excited to announce these strong incentives that will bring the potential to save thousands of lives on top of everybody else's agenda in their individual lives.
Now, of course, the big question here: who is eligible and how do you enter these drawings? Well, these are available to all Washington residents who have gotten at least one shot. And you don't actually need to do anything yourself in order to enter other than get vaccinated. The state will automatically draw names from the Department of Health vaccine database. Tom, Whitney?
Very interesting, Casey. Thank you very much for the update. In the meantime, Washington state is on track to fully reopen by that June 30th goal. That's according to state officials. Governor Inslee set that date last month as part of his Healthy Washington Roadmap to Recovery plan. And he has repeated over the past month that the state appears to be prepared to meet that target.
So to be clear, reopening is set for June 30th, regardless of whether the state hits that goal. But it could happen sooner if we reach that 70% goal of residents 16 and older who get vaccinated with at least their first dose. As of May 30th, we're a little less than 63%, so we're getting closer, which is almost 3.8 million people.
And new today, Eastern Washington University will now require students, faculty, and staff to be fully vaccinated before they return to campus in the fall. And this is an abrupt reversal from what campus leaders had said just about a month ago. Today, interim president David May released a statement laying out the requirement. He said, in part, the goal of a safe and healthy return is served best by getting as many students, faculty, and staff vaccinated as possible.
The vaccine requirement will be implemented in accordance with the university's policy on immunizations and will include exceptions for religious and medical reasons. The school is asking students, faculty, and staff to upload their vaccination information to their Med and Proctor account. Uploading vaccination information will allow additional opportunities, such as working in shared workspaces without a mask. In an effort to get everyone vaccinated, EW is offering walk-in vaccine clinics. And the next clinic will be happening on June 9th, and they will be offering the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
Meanwhile, today, the University of Washington also announced it's requiring all employees to be vaccinated as well by the start of the fall quarter. Last month, UW had already announced all students must be vaccinated before they come back for fall classes. The new requirement follows the release of workplace masking and distancing requirements from the Department of Labor and Industries in Washington. So now faculty and staff will need to confirm they are fully vaccinated in order to work on any of the UW campuses or within any of its facilities. There are again exemptions, though, for medical, religious, or philosophical exemptions.
Spokane City and county leaders have announced an update to how they are addressing homelessness with its regional partners.
So this includes new resources for those who are experiencing homelessness here in the region. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley shares exactly what those resources are going to be. Hi, Amanda.
Good evening. In today's announcement, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward talked about the Cannon Street Center here and gave a big announcement saying that the city and its regional partners are taking a fundamental shift in how they tackle homelessness. Now, last summer, Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward laid out a plan to maximize partner and funding resources and find a way to help people get out of homelessness. As part of that goal, the city announced today a process to select a year-round operator at the Cannon Street shelter. Requests for proposals for operators will be released tomorrow and remain open for 30 days. Now, Woodward says the city and its regional partners have also started the process of converting the Way Out temporary drop-in shelter into a bridge housing program. That program focuses on rapidly moving people out of homelessness. County Commissioner Mary Cooney joined the mayor in this announcement today and applauded the year-long collaborative efforts.
Homelessness is a regional challenge that requires all of us to commit to a goal of decreasing homelessness and maximizing the efficiency of our collective resources to be the best stewards of our taxpayer dollars.
Now, a young adult shelter recently began operating temporarily out of the Women's Hearth shelter while a permanent location is being secured. Now, Mayor Woodward said the goal is to select a location away from downtown but close to public transportation. Now, the city is also extending its contract here with the Guardians Foundation, who have been operating the Cannon Street Center for several months. So that contract was set to expire at the end of this month, but the city is extending it through the end of the summer, so operations can continue uninterrupted while they select that long-term operator. Reporting from the Cannon Street shelter tonight, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. If you were out and about and all today,
boy.
I noticed that it was more pleasant, not so suffocatingly hot. It just felt beautiful.
It was still hotter than normal, but
Right.
You're right. It wasn't as hot as what we saw yesterday, and it'll be much cooler by the time we get into Friday and especially over the weekend. Take a look at this. We still have that heat advisory in effect. That is going to be through tonight at 8 o'clock, and that's everywhere shaded in orange. And we have that fire weather warning now in effect across central Washington and also down in the lower Columbia Basin. That's in effect until 10 o'clock. The temperatures out in those areas, shaded in red, have been 100-degree temperatures, and of course with very little humidity, so fire danger extremely high. We're at 90 degrees right now, bit of a breeze too. I think that's helping things be not quite so suffocatingly hot as Whitney just mentioned. 11-mile-per-hour winds out of the south-southwest. We'll look for a warm evening and then an overnight low of 57, so at least we get into the 50s tonight. So I think that will be much cooler for your house. And then 83, the expected high on Friday as we head towards the weekend. I've got 69 on Saturday and 67 on Sunday. Both days will be a bit on the windy side. I'll check the rest of your 7-day outlook in just a couple of minutes.
Tom, thank you very much. In a KREM 2 exclusive tonight, the parents of the WSU fraternity pledge who died from alcohol poisoning 2 years ago, they're now speaking publicly for the first time since new charges were just announced in the death of their son. The Whitman County coroner had originally ruled Sam Martinez's death was accidental. Yesterday, though, the prosecuting office announced that it is filing criminal charges against 15 current or former members of the Alpha Tau Omega fraternity. That's following a 2019 pledge event where Martinez died. This is the next step toward criminal penalties for those who may have been responsible for his death. KREM 2 talked exclusively with Martinez's parents. They say the new charges simply are not enough.
It is not justice for us. We live every day with the loss of our Sam, and it's just unbearable. These charges are very minor charges against these 15 people. And none of it can bring Sam back.
Whitman County Prosecutor Dennis Tracy told us that he didn't feel like the charges are substantial justice for Martinez or his family, but it's what he can do. He also added that it is the highest number of charges arising from a single drinking event that he can recall since he started as the prosecutor, and that this could serve as a deterrent to binge drinking parties.
If just one person had stopped or said stop, if one person had called for help when Sam was in trouble, Sam would still be with us right now. And that's really hard for us to live with.
Last summer, the Martinez family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the university as well as the fraternity. They say that has now been put on pause, though, because of this criminal case.
Well, kids and adults